There's a storm brewing in London, and certainly not in the city itself, but in the server, as we've seen challengers pick up win after win. In fact, almost all of the challengers succeeding in their opening gambit versus the legends. Things are starting to shake up here, and now we get to see what indeed the ninjas can do as they face what should be a fear. Mousesports, an up-and-coming roster who not call mini FaZe. However, at the moment, the results start to look to put them parallel. This is an intriguing one. I'm joined by Sean Gares, of course, once again, and Bjorn Threat Purse, ex-NiP coach, legend of the game before this one and the one before. It's good to have you with us. I'm intrigued about this one. I mean, I'm expecting a little bit of inside scoop with the ninjas.
You better tell us some stuff about NiP right now.
I mean, they did change half their lineup if you count their coach.
That is true.
That is true. Admittedly, but you'll have a good understanding of some of the more retro names. Get Right and Forest, of course, knowing how indeed they approach the game and how they're going to be approaching this one. I don't know where to start exactly, but I do want to first highlight this is Rez's first major. He's made the major. Of course, NiP had a huge absence of majors themselves, so this means you can see it on their faces. This means an awful lot just to be getting to the top 16.
Yeah, and they did go 3-0 in the Challenger, beating Astralis in a sick game, 3 overtimes.
Yeah, right. That was crazy. It really was.
And they had the best performer actually in the Challenger stage in Lekro, which is shocking because he's their in-game leader. It's his first team I think he's ever in-game led for, and he doesn't really have like a very outgoing personality, so it's crazy to see him performing so well.
And in that game versus Astralis, he was integral. He was incredible on the AWP as well. We'll focus on Mouse first because there's a lot to be said about the ninjas, but Mousesports too. What's your read, Bjorn, of this Mousesports roster? Because it does feel like there is just a team dripping in potential.
I was really surprised when they changed Stico to Snacks, like most other people.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play that well the last year on Virtus Pro, and I think Stico did pretty well.
He was their support. He was their backbone. A lot of people regarded him as.
Yeah, exactly. And I still think they have a lot of potential. But just seeing them like the past few events, I don't really think they have the same power they had with Stico.
They've lost a bit of the gleam in their eye as they try and find Snacks comfortable, try and make this man comfortable. Sean, your response to that, I mean, a lot of people kind of have the opinion, and I say a lot of people, I'm actually kind of mirroring Chad's here, where he finds himself saying that if you put Snacks in the same spots as Stico and he's comfortable, I mean, he's going to hit more shots. So, I mean, that is an upgrade.
It is true, but the way that he approaches retakes and kind of positioning on T side, and the way he moves around smokes and his desire to use utility to help teammates is very different from Stico's. And I kind of agree with Bjorn that they've struggled a lot since adding Snacks to the roster, and I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know. It's very hard to figure out exactly why, but clearly things aren't meshing for them right now.
And I think you can compare Snacks' lurking style to the old Get Right. The thing is, Get Right has adopted a new style. He's not playing that lurker style anymore, but Snacks is still trying to play that, and it might have worked in 2014, 2015, but it doesn't work today.
Yeah, things have changed. The game has evolved, and indeed, this roster is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. When it comes to their strengths, though, look no further than, in fact, lo and behold, we have the FPL star Rops in this roster. He got recognition on the FPL circuit and now finds himself at the FACEIT Major. Full circle for him as he looks to make his debut.
Yeah, and I think in addition to Rops, the man on your screen now, Sunny, who is such a stud in game. He is constantly putting up huge performances for Mousesports, and he's even doing it outside the server. He quit smoking 3 weeks ago.
I saw that. Nicotine-free coming into the Major.
It's a little dangerous coming into the Major.
I mean, you know what? There's no good time, and there's always a good time, and this time for him seems to be now. 3 weeks free, and he's coming into that Major without his... I saw who was it that commented?
Edward
say,
so you're going to be more nervous.
You're going to feel more nervous. Yeah. Interesting. I love that little exchange. And going up against them, we have the Ninjas, NiP, a fabled name with a brand new roster. And Sean, you already talked a little bit about it, but Lekro, the in-game leader, I mean, I would love to know your thoughts, Threat. I mean, this guy as a player doesn't seem like the leadership type.
Honestly, I'm one of the big NiP doubters going into the Challenger stage. They shocked me when they went 3-0. I did think they would advance, but going 3-0 is a huge feat for them. And when I watched them play against Astralis, they passed the eye test, actually. They play very different than what I'm used to seeing. They have executes that are very solid on the A bomb site and B bomb site, and they have a really strong mid control that can branch off to both sides. And I know that sounds basic, but that's something that I think NiP has lacked for a long time now.
And I really like that the Swedish teams are daring to take new IGLs, because who else are you going to pick on that team? You're not going to take Force or Get Right. Dennis has tried it in the past as well, and obviously not Res. So I think Lekro is a great choice for an IGL.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken Exist back, right?
He seems to he seems to have been he's going full circle, of course, in that Fnatic roster, and actually conceded a rather tough loss early today. Worth checking out that VOD if you didn't catch it. But where do this team's strengths lie? You said they've reinvented themselves, Bjorn, but where? Where has this reinvention come from?
I think they're just playing a more individual style now.
Individual style?
Yeah, and I agree with Sean here. I think since they added Lekra as the IGL, they have added some executes and play a bit more tactically, but they're playing way more puggy than when I was on the team.
Yeah, they definitely play super puggy, and they have the skill, though, to back it up. They have some really, really solid players in Dennis, Forrest, Rez, Lekro. I mean, even Gerrit is actually, like, you would consider him the least skilled player on NiP right now, and that's shocking to actually hear myself say that. Like, that's how skilled the lineup is.
That's just credit to the others as opposed to lowering your expectations of Gerrit. Yes, time continues to move on. He said he's changed his role. And actually, speaking of Lekro, he's featured in our head-to-head as we are getting drunk in excitement for this one. It is, of course, Sunny versus Lekro. Now, talk to me about this head-to-head, Sean. Sunny was a bit of a surprise to hear coming out of your mouth. He is consistent, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think he's Mousesports' most consistent player. I can always rely on Sunny to come through regardless of the map, regardless of the side. I think he can turn rounds on his head with Deagle. And that goes for both of these players, actually. Both of them are incredible Deagle players. And they're not typically, first entering bomb sites. They're very good at trade killing and very good at positioning themselves in, like, the mid and late rounds. And that's why I think this is a great matchup.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Sunny is probably the best player on Mousesports. I think a lot of people would say Rops, but as you said, he's just very stable, doesn't make many mistakes. He's not a flashy player like Lekro could be with the Deagle. Hopefully we can see some nice Deagle rounds from him today.
Fingers crossed. I do want to start talking maps though, gentlemen. Now, I'm looking at their recent head-to-heads in 2018. They played the likes of Nuke, Inferno, Mirage in their last best of 3 over in Ukraine. ECS, Season 5, we saw them play Train and Inferno. Seems like we've got some maps we're definitely not seeing here, Threat.
Yeah, and we're definitely not seeing Dust 2 or Overpass because it's the permabans for both the teams. I think this veto is quite hard to predict. I think it's going to go either Nuke or Train, and it's going to be NiP that gets to choose the map.
Okay, and can you explain your thought process there? Why no Inferno? Why no Mirage?
Well, NiP has struggled a lot on Inferno lately, so I think they're going to veto it. And
oh, they did?
Yeah, right.
And Mousesports lost 16-1 to FaCe on Cash, so they're probably going to remove Cash.
Called it. There it is. You're like a savant.
Even in the orders, too. That's the best part.
And yeah, Mousesports already removed Overpass. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's the perma veto.
So
they're probably going to remove Mirage now.
So actually,
Train.
Mirage and Nuke, if I'm not mistaken. NiP have a choice to take it to Nuke.
And I think Mousesports has actually been putting in a lot of work on Nuke. I mean, we saw how strong NiP looked on Mirage versus Astralis. I would think that they're going to go towards Mirage, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Bullet dodged in some people's eyes, but no, we do get to see Mirage. NiP had the choice and choose to take it to the map that, if I'm not mistaken, they actually beat Astralis on.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised that they didn't veto that map. I thought they were going to veto it because they lost to, or they beat Astralis, and also Mousesports lost to North on Mirage, their last game in Stockholm, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm quite surprised that they let that map through.
Yeah, especially because I think when I look at this iteration of Mouse, they've struggled a lot on Mirage. It's not the Mouse of old where, they dominated the map and they were the #1 team in the scene on the map. It's a very different team from that, and they've dropped off considerably on this map.
Yeah, and it is time for us to make a choice between Mouse and NiP. We'll bring in your casters for this one as it's prediction time. It's crunch time, and Anders is once again warming up. Anders, you got to go last. That was a luxury I only give you once. I'm going to force this out of you right now. Explain your working. I'm like your high school teacher. Explain your answer.
Yeah, if we don't see proof,
because you just keep saying a team and then being smug. I can't have that again.
I've had him do this on an IQ test, and his reasoning is hard to understand sometimes.
Come on, man, hit me.
Yeah, but Sean, I was right, wasn't I? So
you were right.
Mouse NiP.
I think this is going to be NiP, and I think they look really impressive. Again, they're one of those teams coming out of the Challenger stage. I think it makes a big difference that you're sort of all warmed up. And I just think Forest and Rez are a great combo. They're going to play out of their minds, and if they can get Dennis to play just a little bit better, just 3-4% more, I think they'll have what it takes. So
NiP for Anders.
yeah, how much more precision do you want, Moses? Do you want?
I just like that you regurgitated everything that was just said on the desk segment. That was fun.
Jason, you got anything else for us?
I'm going to take the ninjas as well.
Okay, 2 for the ninjas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain, does
I
you?
know, I don't have
You've
to
done that
explain,
plenty. Gentlemen, are we going all NiP? We all flying that flag? I mean, Threat, you have an excuse. You probably own at least 3 NiP jerseys.
Go Mousesports, Threat, live life on the edge.
So what you're saying, bro?
You can't go back home if you don't.
I have to go NiP.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that one. That's fine. That's a freebie. How about you, Sean?
Man, I just think Jason is always wrong. I kind of look against him.
Yeah.
I'm going to take NiP.
Can't really argue with the man, can you?
I can't.
Now that feels weird, because then that would mean that we all predicted NiP. They did beat Astralis on Mirage, and that's weighing on my mind too heavily to go against them. I'm going to have to go for NiP as well. I think this is incredibly close to call, and of course there is always that chance that every single individual on Mouse just goes nuts and we all look silly. We'll find out.
Yeah, but there's a chance it happens for NiP too, Alex.
Touche. And indeed, I'll let you guys take this one away.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I think it's good to see everyone coming together in spite of all of our differences, Moses.
Yeah, a lot of unity going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that whole thing lined up.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, well, and also we have the Upcomer app, which
We do.
Yeah, which we'll bring up on the screen. Upcomer.com, where you can download it off the iTunes or Android.
I think Mousesports is going to have a lot more backup than we gave them.
Hell no.
You don't think so?
I think this is going to be leaning towards NiP all the way.
I don't know. I just feel like Mousesports is they're still a dangerous team. I'd be shocked if they're going to have.
They are
almost
obviously still a dangerous team. Yeah, that's something. That's obviously 90 for NiP, I told you.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, it's 61 to NiP.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
what I see?
Getting word
That's
in the
more
ears.
reasonable. That's more reasonable.
Yeah. I think obviously the Astralis games are going to have something to do with it, and I think obviously anytime you have Forest playing well and even Get Right playing well, I think that's going to remotivate a lot of the fan base and a lot of the Counter-Strike fans to start having more faith in NiP, and that's kind of what we have right now.
Think about it. If we could have Get Right and Forest coming back, we have Existence playing in this tournament as well. I just love it. We've got a lot of people coming back in and proving their worth, and it's very exciting. Mousesports going to be playing on the CT side, NiP on the T side here. Mirage, we're best of 1 game. They're first in the Legend stage for both of these teams, and it's really important that you win it so you can go on and be invited next time.
You also don't have to worry about not going through the minor system.
Yes, that is, and that's a huge deal for sure. Looks like we have got a bit of a execute on the bomb site here. Dennis doing nothing on the other side, which is a bit of a shame because that was meant to sell some sort of fake now. Snacks, close range here. The flashbang setup is great, and he's going to pick up one guy carrying the bomb, even getting a chance to reload. He's staying alive for such a long time here and doing everything that's required, even going down. That's just fine as Sonny, Oscar, and Chris going to close out the round, and Mousesports with a beautiful start of Team Ace.
Yeah, Team Ace, everyone gets 1 kill. NiP ran that strategy previously. I think they ran that at Stockholm. Maybe it was earlier in this event where they just sent Dennis up A-ramp all on his lonesome to take a duel, find a fight to have, and Rops just puts him down before he can get anything going on. And obviously the flashbangs slow this hit down. By the time NiP's actually ready to attack the bomb site, there's 4 players here defending, and they've just lost too much. Big win for Mousesports in the pistol round. Deagles are out, so is the scout on Get Right. Not known to be a scouter.
No, not exactly, but I actually would like to see... I like it if Get Right is going to come in to this match a little bit fired up, maybe taking a couple of risks. One of those players that is definitely an emotional player, so if he can find a way to pick himself up early on and do a little bit of damage, that would certainly be exciting. I think that bullet was actually caught by the fence there, or by the railing, so that's a bit of a shame. Rez and Dennis are going to be left.
Yeah, this whole round's a bit of a shame for NiP. The investment yielding them no results whatsoever. Rez is out, but that's easy for Snacks. And now Dennis moving in towards A. Would love to get just 1 kill. He's got a lot of space to work with, but no easy shots. And I don't know. There he is. He's been spotted from CT spawn. Communication doesn't come along quick enough, but not a great chance of hitting those shots. 2-0. Mousesports don't lose anybody.
No, perfect beginning for them. That is obviously good news being on CT side. When you get enough grenades and if you can even buy into the double up setup or something like that, if a Mousesports, don't know if they want to, but if they get Oscar and Chris both at one, that's kind of hard to break. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You really need to get rid of Oscar at this point. Can't exactly invite MSL, can you? So.
Oh, the memes.
The back.
Yep. Well, just around with Glocks, and I think we'll see Chris starting to get aggressive. He's not going to worry about losing this SMG all too much. I want to get some of that bonus money. Lecro, Forrest, Rez, and Dennis playing very far back. Part of the reason that went into my prediction for picking NiP, and this has been going on for a while, I've just kind of lost confidence in Mousesports Mirage.
You don't like it? Do you have is it just an overall feeling, or have you identified is there a specific problem that you?
There's not anything specific. I just feel like they haven't been playing as well on it. And over time they seem to have been getting worse on it. This is awkward for Chris.
Yeah, kind of an unnecessary mistake. It's not going to cost him the round, but you know.
It would have been nice to have the information. Like I said, he's not going to worry about risking an SMG because they have everything they need to still stay in this round. I think this is going to force Rops to play way more passive in that A-bomb side. I think he's kind of got to back up maybe all the way to Ticket Booth. Really use that FAMAS in the range that it has over unarmored pistols. There's no utility as well. So as soon as he spots action, the rotation is going to come back to a stock connector, and then there's no chance of them getting into the bomb site. 3 quick kills for Rops. There's the M4, and yeah, shut down pretty quick. So yeah, losing that SMG, it's just not the biggest deal. And obviously, if you make that push and you find 2 players looking the wrong way and you get a bunch of bonus money, that always puts a smile on your face. NiP gonna have to play around without an AWP if they're ever going to go back to it. For the moment, 5 AKs.
Not bad at all. That kind of beginning, Chris taking a bit of a risk. If it had worked out, I mean, apart from the fun of sniping up kills with the MP7, if you apply a bit of pressure early on the CT side, right, it can leave the Ts a bit more worried, right? Maybe they're a bit slower in some of the rifle rounds even because they're worried about some of that aggression. Yeah. Which some CT sides do tend to forget. I think Mousesports actually is one of them sometimes, weirdly enough, but if maybe they've switched that up a little bit. Maybe they are going to try and be a bit more.
I think the difference, I don't know if they necessarily forget, but a lot of the power that Mousesports has, as you mentioned, is the op, right? So the more you're aggressive with your rifles on the CT side, the less of a chance someone like Oscar would have to be involved. And they like to do aggression with him as well. Had a small, very, very quick pause for whatever reason, but it's ended. Not a tactical. And here we go. Op is out on Oscar. 2 FAMAS, 2 M4s. Plenty of utility on the NiP side as well.
4th round, first time that NiP have rifles in their hands. Some utility, but not a whole lot. That is going to be a preemptive Molotov to catch the smoke as it's coming into the window. Kind of a deep play coming out here from Oscar, and see if he's going to get the reward that he's looking for. Flashbang is in. Rez will pick up Chris, and he was over at Catwalk. Tried for the flick, but not going to make it work, and Sunny's gone down in the middle. Big return into this round for NiP, and that's in spite of a very dangerous scenario there. That gap in the smoke can absolutely ruin your day, but they're going to stay safe for now and see if they can handle this. This one at 3v5, you really should be winning this round if you're NiP. There are ways to mess it up.
I know where Chris J died. He's on the catwalk. I'm just not entirely sure how far out he was swung. That nade almost brings Forrest down. Well, we've seen that a number of times from NiP. Forrest is more than willing to take that duel, even with an op. They kind of pre-fire that gap in the smoke. 1 pop flash design just to wreck that position so you can get some time. Help to neutralize that particular point. Oh, they're going to readjust over towards the B bomb site, and this is dangerous because Snacks is pushing up and Oscar's going to be here as well. This is the worst possible situation that NiP can attack into.
Yeah, really is, and especially because when the shot rings out from this AWP, all their focus, he falls back. The timing is unbelievable. Snacks is going to get 1, but they needed that. Oscar's still doing a good job holding on. 30 seconds, and they're all going to be coming for him. Every single player through the apartment. He misses the first opportunity now. They're down on the low ground. 1 more missed shot, and Rez cleaning up the round. By the way, he got the kill early in underpass on Chris. I thought it was on. Yeah, I thought it was on catwalk. Yeah, but I think he actually wanted to make the jump out, but he failed the jump to get on catwalk and fell down into underpass to get picked off.
Puts it into a really awkward spot. Great shooting from Forrest. Nice control as well, tapping away at window first, and Oscar just couldn't get comfortable inside this bomb site, and part of it, I think, he was expecting that to be a split. You could see him really ready for anyone to turn the corner on catwalk. Great job by NiP to overcome that first hurdle. Now they have another obstacle in their face, and that's the double op setup. You mentioned it. Chris J and Oscar bringing out the AWP. And this time, NiP's not going to smoke window. They're going to let Forrest just pin Oscar down, and does he want to go for the peek? This would be so bold. Here's Chris J's. Oh no, he missed a shot. Get right, so lucky, but Chris J does get the follow-up, and Oscar's not punished for the peek. Nice aggression in middle with the flashbang over the wall.
Yeah, really well done, and probably Get Right's going to be a little bit upset that there was nobody that could refrag any of that. Surprised Chris missed the first shot, but a lot of confidence in his playstyle. Going back for a repeat there can definitely be dangerous, but he made it out.
Especially even Oscar peeking in window like that.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying prospect. Either way, there it is. Well, there Oscar goes back for it. This time they're punished for the repeaks. Rez is backing all the way through T-spawn. Gonna head towards A ramp. You have Dennis set up and ready to go in Palace. Sunny and Rops are going to be the two that are forced to defend this situation. They'll obviously have to smoke or Molotov or force back Chris J, and I think that's kind of the plan. That flashbang doesn't work, though. He's going to get a new angle, but one's already crossed.
But Electro, grenade in hand, he jumps just over the shot. He probably should have been dead. 35 seconds now, and they are starting to crunch on that A-bomb side. Robs is there. He's performing very well so far. Sunny almost gets taken out, and Electro, oh my god, that's so incredibly aggressive. Sunny is definitely going to be mad. And now Chris, can he get back into the action? He wants to be there to help out Robs, but he's going to get himself taken down. What an absolutely beautiful round from Lecro right now. A double kill while leading the team, and 10 health left. Robs with a headshot, but the bomb is going down, and now it's a 3-on-2 here. Can they actually retake this side? It's very, very tricky. They don't have a smoke for the bomb, so defusing is going to be nearly impossible, and Rez will take the face right off of Snacks, and Robs wanted some, and he got some as well. 2-on-3 and NiP. That's a beautiful round, especially from Lecro. I'm just awestruck by that play.
That is really, really cool to see him switched on in that fashion. Chase it down. He gets the damage. He knows he really wants to find that kill, and he knows how important it is, because that puts him in a position to do exactly this. Cut off rotations, and it deletes the player that's closest to helping Rops back towards the ticket booth, and just nice tapping away from Rez. Good skill being shown by these, I wanted to say newer, but they're not really all that new anymore, are they, to the NiP jersey?
We can keep that up, I think. It's all right.
I want to say as well that we talked about those repeaks from Chris J and Oscar. Actually, hold the thought. There's going to be aggression here, and Rez gets caught spraying and punished, but he's got all the information. So NiP's going to push into this A-bomb site, and should be a pretty clean win, pretty standard play out from here. There doesn't need to be all those repeaks. Obviously, he gets him that first kill, but when you're going back for that late peek in towards connector as an AWPer, like that's the risk you're taking, and you could see they had a 5-on-4. It didn't need to happen, and Force is able to equalize off of it, and that really kind of spreads out and opens up the middle of the map for NiP. Mousesports is going to have to be cautious and more disciplined than that.
And it's, I mean, I guess that is the risk of having somebody like Oscar, because at the same time, if you restrain him from doing stuff like that, that also takes away a little bit of his power. Yeah. But it did cost him, so hard to know when do you keep the leash on him, and when do you just say, listen, if you feel like you could do this, then do it. This is good news for Mousesports, though. 2 AKs that they're trying to make their way out of here, and actually might get a third one. It might blow back into CT spawn, and they may be able to pick it up. So very, very expensive here, and they get 3 AKs out of it.
Holy
that
hell.
is a lot, Moses.
Yeah, that is a big mistake from the Ninjas. That is a lot of free money, free cash.
Love that, don't you?
Yeah, it's like an ATM, just like flying $100 bills out of it. It's good stuff.
You had a dream like that, Moses, where you just got free money? I had a dream once that I won the lottery, and it took me several hours after I woke up to realize it was just a dream.
That's a bit brutal.
Yeah, I was excited for the whole morning. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, that'll wake you up quick, won't it? Feeling groggy, and then you're like, wait, I don't actually have $400 million.
Yeah. Well, I have you, Moses. That's just as good.
Priceless, they say.
Yes. I wouldn't trade it. 7th round. 3-man stack on the bomb side. This would be a great counter for one of those default A executes, and they do happen a lot on Mirage. So for Mousesports, it's not a bad call. It does leave both mid and especially B maybe a little bit lonesome, but it's maybe a risk that you can take. Might be worth it.
At the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be of great benefit. Still leaning towards that B bomb site. No one from NiP even close to A, not even watching for pushes. Throwing some late mid smokes. Catwalk in window room. That's going to keep Sunny pinned down. Yeah, Oscar doesn't even have an AWP now. He is kind of an early warning system with the way he's just kind of shoulder peeking on top of that balcony, but that's not necessarily going to do a whole lot. We'll see where he falls back to, and we'll see how soon. Sunny's kind of being held there just by Rez. This is cool. Oscar blind. He's waiting for his moment. He's going to pounce right now. There's the off. He can get double kill. He can, and now he has position. Now he can open up the second front, and everyone goes down. Great play from Oscar. One-man defense, and he wins by positioning.
That is such an extreme play to stick around. Normally, most people, when they hear those footsteps, I mean, they either try and pop flash themselves in to just get a kill, or you just try and run back as fast as you can. And no teammates there. Yeah, this is just an expert play coming out from him. Really well done.
It's interesting that no one from NiP clears that right corner, you know? Like when you're on that we see people there all the time, like even on the Pistron, the position that Snacks was in, and no one went forward to clear that part out. So even the guys who jumped down, not spinning to at least check balcony, they get punished.
And given all the rifles that they lost in the round before this one,
yeah,
they just can't do anything. That's I mean,
a really rough sequence of events for NiP.
I think NiP were probably thinking, since we're making so much noise running up the hallway here, if anyone is either in the default corner up on the balcony there, or in that position that Oscar was in, they're going to show themselves, right? Because they can hear it coming, and we're throwing all the grenades and everything. So, very cool play from him this time. Bit dangerous. Chris, stick around and take that fight anyway. They really seem to be sort of building up some confidence here, Mousesports. They've been taking these fights throughout the game, even when it hasn't really been necessary, but they're sort of back in the lead now, so who can blame them?
In the lead and have a pretty ballooned economy because of the free AKs. And around against just pistols, where it looks like they're going to get out scot-free. So 5-3.
That's an ace on Chris, by the way. I mean, it's,
is it? Oh.
Yeah, it was sort of dragged out across the round, and still, it all makes you feel better, obviously.
Nicely done, Chris. Yeah, he has, I mean, obviously an opera throughout most of his career, but he's shown great things with Mousesports as an in-game leader and a rifler, and even an SMGer, as we've seen. Either way, NiP is still in a pretty decent spot. 3 rounds, you know, halfway through the half.
Yep. Yeah, this is a fine scoreline for everybody involved right now. Don't always know exactly how many rounds you need on Mirage. Sometimes those T sides can be a little bit tricky, but 3 to 5 I think is acceptable. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to see some sort of default A execute pretty soon for NiP, because it's always worth testing, right? If you do it in the right round where they're holding mid with 3 and there's only 1 at CT spawn, it's not a free round, but it's a good beginning, right?
The nice thing about it is that it's one of those kind of tactics that should be able to net you at least a plant more often than not. And then you can kind of see what happens from there and play the post plants. Usually the few times that kind of gets prevented is if, you know, you get stalled out too early, or if there's, you know, a close-up defense that kind of wrecks you. Let's see what they go for, though. They have 1 UMP on Rez. They've got plenty of utility for anything they want. Getright's even going to add a smoke into this buy, I would imagine, right here at the end. Not this round, Anders.
No, we're going to have to wait a bit longer.
B-Rush?
That would be exciting. They've already set up a bit of a grenade in middle. See if they can hold it on for long enough. That Molotov, if it was a B-Rush, would probably slow them down a fair bit anyway. But could be just a delayed one. Oscar last time managed to foil their plans this time. There's the pop flash, but he's actually going to fall back already, and they are right on top of him. He's in so much trouble right here, close to the corner, taking down Getright. This is what he's an expert at. He's still going to go down to Lekro, so only the 1 kill and a good closure on him right there. Hiding at the edge. Sunny reeling his position, and more backup is coming. 1 coming in from Catwalk. Very important fight happening out there. I think that's Robs, but Sunny's actually going to steal the kill. That opens it up. Now Robs has a free entry. That's a huge kill for Sunny. And Lekro and Dennis just trying to fight to keep it alive. No bomb plant. They've been fighting all the way through. Lekro hitting 1 more headshot. And now he's ready and waiting. Snacks walking right into it. Quad kill for Lekro. Holding on to the round, and maybe they needed to just remind themselves at the end there, Mousesports, that there was no bomb plant.
Yeah, slow it down. But the cool thing was Oscar, this smoke that Oscar dropped in the middle of that bomb site was really, really cool. It didn't actually do much for Oscar himself, but what it did allow was a lot of mobility for Sunny, I believe it was, pinned behind that pillar. He could rotate around. He could check towards Catwalk with safety. No one up in those windows or on the balcony are going to be able to punish him for it. And that was really, really cool to see what it kind of afforded him. And obviously, you're right, 2-on-2, you get that kill onto Dennis. And Lekro is able to find the one-on-ones and even just patiently waiting for Snacks to peek a 4th round. They're going to have the economy Mousesports. They've drawn it down low again. Lekro's been great for this team. They talk about him as an in-game leader, but just on an individual level, he's been, we've always been wondering when Lekro was going to step up and find some level of consistency, because I think the first time we saw him really, hit some kind of personal best level was Malmo 2016 with Godsent.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an insane tournament for him, and then he kind of went quiet after that.
Back when Pauf was playing as well, Moses. If you
yeah,
remember.
That prediction went well for you.
Listen, he played well for that tournament. That's what I cared about.
Another one of those 16% predictions.
Listen, he worked that one. That's all that matters.
Oh, here we go. This isn't an execute, Anders. This is just going to be a timing hit. Rops is going to throw it over. Now the flashbangs. Sunny looks like he wants to go for a battle. Dennis isn't looking. He adjusts, and it sprays, and it's not good enough. Get right with the Mac 10 to clean him off. But now they need to get these smokes down. Because it's not an execution, they're paused. They're stopped.
Yep, and the longer they wait, the more Mousesports are going to be here. Forrest boosted up by a teammate to get that kill on Chris. That's not bad at all. Another boost being improvised here for Mousesports, hoping that it's a default plant, because in that case, it would work wonderfully. This one can't... Oh, almost gets the edge. The bomb will go down, but Robs goes up in flames, and 2-on-3 now. Oscar alone as Lekro landing more headshots. He is playing beautiful Counter-Strike at the moment, and Oscar is going to have a lot of trouble doing this. He knows there might be someone flanking him. He's not wrong either. He actually might run right into the waiting arms. Let's get right over on this side. Just weird in waiting with a Mac 10, and Oscar is going to be done for. That's a huge kill. You know,
yep.
Moses, because you said you should talk about my predictions, and you know make fun of them.
There you go. He's come up with something clever.
Yeah, took me a little while, but I actually said when Lekro was let go from Fnatic that I thought Fnatic had made a big mistake in giving away this resource, and I think I still stand by that. I still think Lekro is one of those players that, if you had the chance to hold on to him. Now, there may have been some chemistry issues that I don't know about. There may be lots of other reasons, but... I
was going to say, the one thing that you never really know is I think players just sometimes thrive better in different environments and lineups, obviously. So, I mean, maybe Lekro doesn't become this player that we're seeing on NiP if he stays in Fnatic, so it's always hard to kind of tell in that sense. Forrest, they're not going to get caught off guard by these anti-ecos again. Chris does find the kill, but they don't want to let that AK-47 get salvaged. Molotov actually doesn't do it. They run right into it, and even Get Right having some struggling, but the Spray Master figures it out, and there's the SMG. What's that saying? Another man's trash is like another man's gold, or whatever it is.
There is a saying like that, but
yeah, I don't think that's quite it. You get the idea, though.
You get the idea. I think I don't do sayings, and I don't do math on stream, Moses.
You don't do sayings? Okay.
No, you always end up messing it up. I don't know how many times I've tried to say, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it, and just completely messed it up. If it ain't fixed, then don't broke it.
You've been watching too many George Bush speeches. Nice shot from Oscar. Lekro's going to trade him right back. And Sunny actually had to be a little bit careful. They're actually walking right into it. Lekro just on the other edge of that smoke, and Chris J's going to find him. Surely not. Lekro, got eyes in the back of his head. Great performance. He cracks open middle for the Ninjas. And the defense now, these three players from Mousesports, it's kind of like, guys, how can we figure out how to work together from here on out?
Yeah, you're spread all across the map, aren't you? Some fairly ridiculous kills to begin this round with, and the timing, Get Right. He just walks behind Tetris there. Otherwise, he could have had that shot easily, I think, on Robs, who's fallen back into a much safer position. The bomb is over here, and they're going to come through underpass as well. If Rez can make it way into connector, this is such a powerful position.
There's no other option as well for Rops. He has to fall back and get into safety. He cannot be inside the bomb site when he doesn't have a teammate watching mid whatsoever, because then you have to worry about ramp, connector, and Palace. So Rops doing whatever he can just to be able to buy time. There's no kits on these Mousesports players. Now he's in a bit of a more committed off angle.
Sunny there as well. Good backup, and even Snacks is not that far away. 38 seconds. Perfect timing to take down Res. Very aggressive, not waiting for NiP to make their move. Smart play from Robs right here, and this is looking great for the defense. Just going to be Forrest left with 28 seconds. He's going to pull out the pistol, but Snacks is going to be there in time. Good setup there for Mousesports. That actually was not easy to win in that 3-on-3. It looked like NiP had the advantage.
I think NiP gave him a little bit of a favor by not just getting into the bomb site. Well, they gave away that they were attacking A far too early before they actually wanted to progress into the bomb site. You could have had a situation with Rez sneaking along that wall quietly and a pop flash in. Those Molotovs really gave it away and allowed Sunny to get into position with Rops. And obviously, it's hard to know when to do that, but NiP, if you're gonna give up your presence in that kind of a situation, you need to be very aggressive into getting into the bomb site.
It's the default A, Moses. We had to wait a couple of rounds, but
yeah, Well, they've got NiP there now. Chris J is holding that, and they're going to have Sunny as well, and they're going to have no mid presence. So I'm not sure how well this is going to go.
The mask. Oh, get right, and the grenade is out. Rob's almost walking away too quick for that one. Chris is going to be down, and now Sunny with the refrag, taking down Lekro. So really, really good hold, especially up in those apartments. That makes such a big difference.
Oh, nice pop flash timing, and Rops is, yeah, completely blind. Eyes burned out of his head, and they're getting all the kills now. Mousesports, overeager. The aggression in towards Palace was great because you have enough bodies at the A bomb site where if it goes wrong, you can still recover. So, I mean, I really liked that move, but coming through these smokes, again, the bomb site not lost, the bomb not planted.
I've got to say, from an NiP point of view, that pop flash into the apartments, that's incredibly hard to do. Like, right on the edge of the bomb site, what are the chances that you don't just get shut down as you're even trying to set it up, you know?
Remember, it was a 2-on-4. You got to take a risk somewhere. That was the one they decided to take, and they know there's no chance of them getting that bomb site as long as Palace is held by a CT player.
But if they walk into Oscar, this little adventure for NiP could still be over pretty quickly. He does only have 15 health, but that AWP of his is incredibly powerful. And 30 seconds means they are going to walk this way. They don't have, well, they have one smoke, but again, how do they know where he is to throw that smoke, right? They almost have to sacrifice a player just to figure out where he is. Out on catwalk right now, going to be scoping in just the right time. 15 seconds, and he actually misses that shot. Normally one that he would have hit, and now they can try and escape, and suddenly that smoke is actually really valuable. That's going to make it hard. They don't know if anyone's walking behind here, and Dennis will try and reposition. That's really smart. Checking out Kitchen and seeing nobody in there. 2-on-2 for this after plant, and Mousesports, they must win it. They're going to be out of money if they lose this round, and suddenly NiP will have the lead and a good chance to have a great first half here. Forest hiding behind the truck, and they're doubling up on the aggression, not checking the truck at the moment. Snack's going to turn around, but an instant headshot, and now that's trouble for Oscar. You can tell as well. Low on health, and he's going to go down. Forest with a double, and NiP winning that 2-on-2.
To say it's unfortunate Oscar missed that shot because he picked the perfect time to turn around, and obviously when it gets past 20 seconds you kind of realize what's coming. This is great from NiP. This follow-up coming through that smoke, Sonny, no one else is there with you. Even Oscar getting so banged up with that spray from Dennis. Lucky to leave with his life at that point, but they are kind of shut down. Yeah, Oscar, I mean, his brain just is kind of like, okay, there's 18 seconds in the clock. They're going to have to attack someone. I don't see him on catwalk. I don't hear him running up catwalk, so turn around and check out the B apartments. He had the right idea, just a missed shot. Force buy for Mousesports. Uh-oh, look at this aggression. Oh, Sunny might catch him with their nades out. Leclerc's going to check after the throw. That's the bomb as well. There's a lot of NiP players. Sunny gets two somehow. Chris is still here. I'm not even entirely sure they've spotted him. Rez going to get the kill with no problem. And meanwhile, the MAC-10 on Get Right provides the entrance into the bomb site. So danger averted, but it was a hell of a lot of danger.
Yeah. They must have heard the flash in underpass, but they might have just thought it was on catwalk instead. Like, they might have been fooled by the sound.
I think it's just standard for every pro team to kind of check that. I think they're just fortunate with the timing of when they decided to throw their nades in the B-bomb site.
Yeah. Well, Oscar and Robs, especially Robs, has picked up the AK coming in from behind, and Rez is spotting for him. Oscar actually gets a kill, and oh my god, they turn it around. Now it's on Dennis. Can he find the right position here so he doesn't get shot down from apartments? Robs is making his way in. That's one good kill, and Dennis turning around, and he's ready for it. A double kill. And that's what we wanted, Moses. That's the 3 and 4%. I got it exactly right. You were even looking at me.
No, I knew you were going to say it. Yeah. Dennis, great 1 and 2 clutch. They needed that one. Good start from Sunny. I don't know how they turned it around. In my head, I'm thinking, Rob, save the AK, and then all of a sudden the kills come out. That was so close for the Ninjas, but yeah, you're right. That is, oddly enough, as much as I hate to say it, that extra 3 to 4% to just win a clutch like that is huge. NiP now confirmed going into the second half with the lead. The question is it going to be 1 or 2 rounds, and with these 2 opening kills and mid control, looks like it's going to be 9 to 6, or 3 rounds.
Yes, they're looking amazing right now. Yeah. This is definitely a really, really good first half for them. 9 kills on Rez, 9 on Get Right, 13 on Lekro. That has got to be the surprise of this one. Not because he's not a good player, but just because when you're in-game leading against Mousesports as well, that's not so easy to put this much on the board. So
I've said this a couple of times watching NiP, but I mean, also I know the Dust just talked big things about him. But remember when they announced that Lekro was going to be the in-game leader, everyone was just like, what? Like, this surely will not go well. So another player kind of stepping up to the plate in the in-game leader category and surprising us.
feel like almost all of the time, this is how in-game leaders are made, though. They're sort of pushed into it, right?
Yep.
Almost nobody says, you know what? I just want to make my life a lot more miserable, so let me try an in-game lead a little bit.
I mean, it's the great irony that in-game leaders need to be like really intelligent about reading the game, but then also if you choose to be an in-game leader, you are kind of like mentally broken.
Yeah.
Like you are just, you know, you do need help in some ways to bring that upon yourself.
I think it's... Oh my god. That's a job well done. Rob's unable to get the scout into play, so I'll follow up on that in just a second. Snacks and Sunny here trying to see if they can just somehow steal the round back, but it doesn't seem possible. So we'll go in favor of NiP here, 1 versus 4. I think...
Back to our resident mentally broken expert, Anders B. Loom.
Yes, I do have some experience with this. I think it's hard when you're, especially when you're a player like Lecro, whose career, even though he's obviously impressing us here, and I think he's making a name for himself, right?
Right.
But he doesn't have the same kind of, shall we say, like career stability or like the same safety net that some of the other players in the Swedish scene has.
Yeah.
So if you're the in-game leader, there's a very good chance that if something starts to go wrong in the team, all the fingers are going to be pointed at you, right? So if you're the new up-and-coming player, you'd much rather be someone like a Rez who can put up big numbers and people say, oh, he's really good at the fragging, right? Because even if you then get kicked from the team at some point, there's a chance that someone else will have noticed and said, you know what, he's good enough that we want to try this.
I think the nice thing about NiP, though, in that regard, is that GetRight and Force aren't really like the kind of pros that are ever going to like kind of lord their resume and pedigree over you, it feels like. From my knowledge. I guess there could be some kind of interaction behind the scenes that I don't know about that would prove that wrong, but in my interactions with them, they seem like to be the more kind of humble pros who...
Yeah. Yeah, they
aren't going to say, listen, I'm not listening to you, or something along those lines.
I don't care what you say. Rez hiding in sandwich, a much safer position when you can expect no Molotovs on the other side. Later on in the game, it could be dangerous. 3-man stack here at the A-bomb site, and Mousesports looking for an entry and maybe even the execute to follow here. GetRight missing a chance. That's a great duck. Right under Rez, but GetRight hitting headshots. Dennis will follow it. GetRight now fighting out in the open. He's going to get that kill as well. 3 of them for GetRight. What a beautiful way to start the pistol round.
I cannot believe that duck peek into...
Yeah, that was dirty, wasn't it?
That is so unfair. It's so unreasonable. Rez just has to say, what can I do? Forrest guarding the murder hole, and Oscar's going to go down. Great pistol round for the Ninjas.
He just hip-checked him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
Just like, how do you beat that? Yeah, great shots from GetRight. That transfer over to Rops was nice. This is what you like to see out of GetRight, getting assertive, swinging out wide and against Snacks, knowing it's just a one-on-one and just deciding he's going to win it. Mousesports, unfortunately, walking right into the perfect defense.
And that's in spite of getting that opening, right?
Yeah.
Because normally if you get rid of Sandwich, especially the player in Shadow, that was Dennis that round, would be very exposed.
I mean, even Dennis is, you know, if GetRight doesn't get those 2 kills, there's no guarantee that they don't hard check Dennis as well. They might be thinking that's the other side of the crossfire. The fact that GetRight gets 2 kills pulls their attention away. Here's investment from Mousesports. Deagle and CZ's in armor. No utility.
Just hoping that an IP get careless, maybe go for some peeks in middle. And can you make those deals work?
Lecro can be in some trouble here, especially if he gets caught rotating, because Rops and Sunny are about to take some attention away. They want to challenge at the A-bomb site, make some presence known. You can see Forrest is being pulled over. Lecro's backup is farther away. Lecro has not moved. Actually, he does a little bit there, just to the other side. He's starting to try and find some information. Drops down. That's going to be information gathered. If he's going to be on the floor like this inside the bomb site, he needs some backup.
Yeah, it's one of those positions where if you're just a little bit hesitant in what you want to do, you don't know if you want to fight or if you want to fall back, you can die so quickly.
He's not even jump spotting, and because they don't have utility, they likely just walk peek this and play contact. They're not going to give any indication they're coming towards that B bomb site. And Forrest down to 21 is his closest backup. Now it's all on Lecro.
Already fired a couple of bullets, 16 of them left. Going to take down 1, but can't follow it up.
Yeah, great shot. See, I mean, that's the problem. Forrest took too much damage in mid. Dennis is here to close the gap pretty quick, but it's a retake scenario. Sunny is low, but look at these positions. It's going to be a tough retake. Rops jumps in towards Market to try and come from behind, but yeah, great timing. Unfortunately, he just barely missed it. NiP knew they had one more teammate coming, and it's all on Sunny. He's the one in that fight with Forrest early on. 7 HP. He's good, and GetRight doesn't check beneath him, and Dennis doesn't want to challenge. He's low as well. They've got to bring Rez over. This is doable for Sunny. They line up, but swing is way too fast. 11th for NiP, but they take some losses, and the plant's going to help out in a big way.
That was very close as well, the bomb plant. That could have got horribly wrong. I must say, that was a genius move from Robs. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. He was sort of waiting for them to come out of the left-hand side of kitchen, and then just jumps right in there. That was very well done.
I don't think it would have worked because they spotted him, but it certainly could have. Again, like, if there's 2 players coming out that exit, one of them continues going on to the other bomb site, and the other one has to go back to market to check if they don't have, I think it was GetRight being the third
But he
player.
could even just jump back out again.
Yeah.
So, like, he could just as a way to waste time. It
could get
be
weird, yeah.
Really annoying, right? What a recovery from NiP that almost gave away that round. 11-6 now, and we are back to not really much. And GetRight on the auto shotgun again. He has no mercy left in him, does he?
I love it.
Through the years of the big, NiP collapse, he's just lost his last shred of humanity. He's come out on the other side.
He's become a monster. I mean, we don't have NBK in the major, so someone's got to pick up the mantle of using the weird guns.
Yeah, I want NBK back as well.
I do too. Ooh, he's going to go investigating. That's not a shotgun kind of fight. Little bit of damage, puts him on notice.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of shells they put in these Moses. If it had a slug in it, it could probably work at that range. If it was just the pellets, I doubt it.
Maybe he's skeet shooting. Well, this time there's a B lane. So Force is over on Catwalk, Dennison, Window, Electro in the B bomb site, so it's got red and res. And it almost feels like they have a few upgraded pistols and they have the utility, but I almost feel like they're just hesitant because they know they have to go right at a shotgun.
I was going to say, what is the logic here? We just heard that weapon that's incredible against the no armor. Let's try and fight it. And we'll sort of see the results here. They're just getting absolutely chewed up.
Yeah, we have no armor. This weapon gives the most bonus money. Let's go right at it.
It's
at close range.
So brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun though.
15 kills for GetRight. Tied up with Dennis. They've both overtaken. Lecro is still at 14 and is still doing a remarkable job. On the other side, Rob's at 13 and so is Sunny. It's not like they're really lacking the kills right now. Some of these rounds have really been incredibly close. So even if it's 12-6 right now, it's a slightly deceptive scoreline. Actually, Mousesports could have been much closer than they are right now.
It's that back-breaking 6-1 run to end that first half that really gives NiP this lead. That's a really brutal sequence for Mousesports. 12-6, small technical timeout. We did just get Snacks dropping from the server, so he'll be right back.
Yeah,
we got Bot Bert.
Bot instead. That's
a name and a half.
Yeah, and the bots in CS:GO don't really are really completely dysfunctional, aren't they?
Bring back the pod bots.
Exactly, the Fragomatic.
Yeah, you ever want to see the shotgun used at full effect?
Yeah, exactly. Headshots all the way up long on Dust 2. No chance at all. Yeah, we miss those, don't we? I feel like we're getting, we're in the age of artificial intelligence, Moses, as you well know, because I tell you about it all the time.
I feel like you have artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I'm one of the early experiments, and
it's all gone wrong, hasn't it?
But we should be able to get, slightly better bots. They obviously can't be better than players, right? But because then, I'm talking about in matchmaking.
The Dota ones are pretty good, I hear.
Yeah, but I mean, if you wanted to create that, then you could never beat a Counter-Strike bot, right? We've all run into the spin botters, and
that's a good point. Well, I mean, you'd like them to operate within the parameters of reality in the game, right?
Okay, maybe that could work. Maybe they can't see through walls, and it's more fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Dota one is definitely fun.
Yeah. They had what, like 5? That was like Elon Musk's experiment, I believe, wasn't it? Didn't he build them or something? He had something to do with it. Maybe he just tweeted it.
I think he's part he's part of the OpenAI circuit that does it.
Okay.
And Elon is one of those people that care very much about AI safety, which I'm on that train too, Moses.
All right, let's not go too deep down this rabbit hole.
No,
we'll save that.
We've got the technical timeout. We can do it.
We do have a technical timeout.
I read a whole book on it and everything.
Super intelligence?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's where Elon has all of his stuff from, Moses.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a Swedish scientist called Nick Bostrom. It's a very, very good book. You should check it out. If you care about the future of humanity at all, you should do that.
Welcome to the Counter-Strike Major. If you care about humanity,
read
this massive book.
We've got to prevent it all from happening. We've all seen Terminator. We know where this ends.
Oh, Terminator was such a good movie.
It still is, isn't it? It's kind of shocking.
It does have some rewatchability. It's lasted through time. A lot of those movies do. The original Jurassic Park, it's phenomenal.
There's a new one coming out, isn't there?
It's already out. The new Jurassic.
Oh, is it already out?
Yeah. It's not
I don't
that
really
good.
keep up.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
what's
not.
happening. No. Okay.
You
Cool.
haven't missed anything.
I'm glad. Tell me if I need to watch something. Otherwise, days just go by. I just don't know what happens. So just restoring all of the money on everybody so that nobody gets cheated out of whatever economy they had going on. And then we should be hopefully all back into it. They all have headsets on.
Yeah, and everyone's back in the server as well. Starting to see guns purchase up. So you don't have to hear about Anders drone on about AI any longer. That's for me. It's for me to deal with. That's my personal hell.
Yeah.
Get Right still got the shotgun. 12-6, doubling up on Mousesports. It's been a minute since Mousesports won a round. 6 in a row for the Ninjas at the moment. 9-1 run in the last 10.
So, not exactly the last stand for Mousesports, but we are getting dangerously close, and I sort of feel like they're running out of a little bit of energy. So now you're on the T side, you've got the initiative, you could definitely do something, except for Dennis, who shuts down 2 players right off the bat, and Robs with a bit of a return, at least taking down Dennis. Or is spotting. Oh my god, how is that a headshot?
Got Hiko.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Hiko wished had happened, just not to a teammate.
Holy hell.
How did the bullets do that? Why does it never happen to me? Oscar and Snacks, 2-on-4.
Now, so I normally would say that Get Right has made a really cool play, but he's got a shotgun. So like it's just not going to work in this position, unfortunately. It's too far of a range. He can have the information and he can be a distraction, but like he's going to need his teammates to come over here. Now the tough part is Oscar can ruin everything. Oh my lord. There's the jump and another missed shot for Oscar. That's unfortunate. And now he has to give up the angle. Never knows if there's going to be an op that holds it in. Now coming back to attack a new choke point.
It's almost worth it for him to use the USP instead of the shotgun. You're right at this range. It's very tricky to get it in a position. Good Molotov there. Oscar now back to the last chance here, and he's going to get it. Lecro gone down to Snacks as well, and now holding close with the auto, but Oscar's going to catch him mid-air. Beautiful defense, and what a round from Mousesports. 2-on-4. They get the bomb plant down, and nobody hears it, and the rotation time is just so long from that B bomb site. It was well done.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Remember, that was a 5-on-3 when Dennis gets that double kill in mid. I mean, it's hard to see with the smoke, but that did feel very weird. Nice shot from Oscar there at the end. He even finds Get Right jumping up on top, trying to take out his teammate. That's unfortunate. I do feel like that auto shotgun really kind of backstabbed NiP and Get Right there. If he had an M4 at that ramp in that pushed up position, he can be way more mobile and kind of turn around and peer into that A bomb site, take a fight if he sees somebody. But because of the shotgun, he wants to stay on this side, where he can have a close range fight. It just doesn't pan out for him.
They find that smoke very suspicious, and these Get Right on the other side. They feel like something might be up. I think that was Rob's holding down there, and he doesn't really want to challenge it. He's also playing alone, so it would be risky. What do they do?
Got mid control, being very cautious, waiting for a follow-up peek from somewhere. Forrest is in the ladder room just waiting. Some standard spam in towards connector. Forrest is alone here. Rez might have a tough time helping him out. That smoke definitely is not going to allow Rez to have some kind of a long-range crossfire. But there's Forrest. Chris J just kind of loses track of his position. They know where he is now at the very least, so that smoke's going to help him out. But Snacks is on the other side, and he loves playing with that. Oh my god, the flashbang, and Forrest just holds down the trigger completely blind. Snacks tries to make his way in, and somehow NiP is having no problems with this. It looked like Mousesports was at least going to be able to find some entries, and they've got none. Even backing out of his vision. Good adjustment from Oscar, but you got to feel like this is all said and done.
Yeah. I mean, well played on Forrest for the first kill. That second one, you just let Jesus take the wheel, and Oscar now hoping that he could find maybe a way into a bomb site. I don't even know at 15 seconds. Might just want to try and find a way to end it. Forrest gets the triple. Steals the AWP. He also is using the M4A1 Moses. One of the
last,
a rare species
the
people.
holdouts, yeah. Nice shooting there on Chris, obviously a free one. That's just fortunate. Snacks, I think, got lost in that smoke. He kind of got caught on the lip right by the box and couldn't get in. Not that it would have mattered if Forrest is holding the trigger like that, but yeah, a little bit of luck goes the way of the Ninjas, and that's a reset. That's a harsh reset. You have Oscar with money, but everyone else is broke. The opposite of rich.
I was waiting for it. So, 6-round gap here. I don't know. They're hitting some good shots, Mousesports. They're getting. When you look at the scoreboard, this doesn't feel like a team that's really losing.
Doesn't feel like they should be getting smacked around the way they kind of are, does it? Like, all the frags are so close on both sides. I mean, there's no one player on either team kind of running it up, but it looks like there's so. I mean, that means there has to have been so many like 1v1 and 2v2s and stuff like that in these.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild to think about.
Definitely a much closer game than it seems here on Mirage, but it is still looking good for NiP. Dennis with 17. We asked him to step up like 3 or 4%, Moses, or I did, but he's done way more than that. He's playing a great game right now. A lot of credit to him for doing it. And a good Molotov to slow them down. Doesn't even explode the chairs, Moses. Those are still alive.
Yeah, adamantium chairs.
They're so dramatic when they make like this crazy noise whenever they explode.
It's like a tree screaming.
Yeah.
All right. Mousesports playing around the world. All right, at Forest. Here's where that M4A1 might hurt him, and he's doubled up with Lecro, so I mean, screw it. They actually go back.
I can't keep up anymore. I don't know what the logic is.
Do you think they're trying to confuse someone, or do you think they're just having a laugh, telling a joke?
It could be. Maybe they're hoping that, you know, that you're trying to analyze it all the way through.
They're like, let's make these guys talk about us running in a circle for a little bit. There's no utility. Chris is Chris completely bought up into this? He bought a P250 in light armor, so he only has $450. So I don't know if maybe...
That's odd.
Yeah, that is odd.
I really can't explain it.
Because no one else bought anything.
You would surely want to keep some sort of symmetry in the team here so that everybody could be all united in the upcoming buy round. Sunny, close range here with the Glock. He really wishes he could get that sneak in, but hasn't found anyone yet. Long spray here for Get Right. That took all 30 bullets. Oh, Snacks will get one. They're doing significant damage in this round. Get Right's very low on health, and he's going to go down to Snacks as well. So 2-on-3. This is very, very sloppy for NiP. Forrest trying to see if he could find that kill. He's just slowly tapping away, but he's going to get edged out by Sunny, and now it's all on Necro. He's already been tagged in the face. What an odd round this is. He doesn't even have a smoke to block off anybody, so this defuse here, he's just going to... Oh, it's a 10-second one as well. There must have been a kit somewhere, but he just is not going to be able to find it right now, it seems. And he goes down to Sunny. I just don't even know.
I don't want to talk about that round.
Yeah.
Lecro even had $1,800 when he went down, so the fact that he got one kill means he had $1,500. He could have purchased a kit, just didn't have one. Maybe could have done something tricky, but yeah, that's just a weird. Obviously, that long, drawn-out fight for Get Right brought him down so low, and the fact that his teammate went down pushing up and Snacks was in the corner didn't expect kind of really means that a bomb site is being held by one player with like 6 HP. Very weird.
I feel like not even Mousesports could tell you why they ended up winning that round. They must have been slightly shrugging at the end of it, saying, "Well,
we'll take it."
Yeah, I guess that works.
Yeah.
Very odd indeed. Dennis down in the underpass with the CSET 75. Doesn't want to check around the corner. He's hoping that someone's going to come close, and maybe Chris will. Does have that M4 picked up, and this CSET 75 is lethal at this range, but good headshot, instantly bringing him down. So solid kill for Chris.
The utility being used. Get Right pushed up once again. There's Rops watching the flank, so if if Get Right keeps going, he is going to get wrecked. Robin Cool going to have a chance here. Ooh, that's a nice timing for Get Right. Better shooting from Chris J. Tapping away. See how measured he is.
Not bad.
Takes out Forrest with, I believe that's his own gun. That's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, a little bit, isn't it? And there he is. They could do like a Boney M remake of his name, Moses. Is that a Daddy Cool? Robin Cool?
A what remake?
Boney M? You know that song?
No.
Daddy Cool. You must have. Come on. No. How can you not have? What a disgraceful human being.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Either of you. I even got the producer yelling at me as well. So you've both lost me.
Well,
yeah, Mousesports is back into it now. 5 players surviving. They have the AKs. They have plenty of money on Oscar. This one, that loss in the previous round really hurt NiP. That was like the red carpet was laid out to the victory of this entire map.
Yeah, all they had to do was keep going. They're like one of those, horrible videos on the internet where people celebrate right before they get the finish line in like some cycling race or something. They put their hands up and then they crash and lose the whole thing. That's what's happening to NiP right now.
Yeah. That makes sense. I was going to go more with like the red carpet thing with like someone like a heel breaking as they walk down the carpet.
I don't think they're wearing heels, Moses. I don't think this metaphor is...
Yeah, they're also not on a bicycle, so let's calm down.
There are mopeds on this map, aren't there? It's sort of like a bicycle with an engine on.
Yeah, fair play. I'll let you win that one. Oscar with the op. Peering up, going for a pick. Now he's feeling a little bit more confidence. Oh, Necro's so blind, but he recovers. Sunny couldn't handle it. They talked about him on the desk, and for good reason. He's been such a strong and consistent player, but misses a big opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely. One of the people that have sort of escaped the Finnish Counter-Strike scene that has been looking a little bit strange for a while, but I think it's going to make a pretty big comeback eventually. There is a lot of talent in Finland, and I think, like I said this a while ago, but I think there's going to be even more in the upcoming year.
Yeah, you've been mentioning that the Finnish scene is gonna blow up.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Shout out to our boy Natsu.
He's actually part of the reason why I think so.
Yeah.
He's involved on a grassroots level with a bunch of different things. So I have some inside info, Moses. I'm not going to lie.
Of course you do.
But
this angle from Get Right, if he's on top of the, I'm only looking at the minimap. If he's on top, yeah, this can be a tough angle to work with. He's backing off of it. Rez is close up. He has no backup inside. This is all Rez. Early warning. He's got one kill. He's going to build upon it. He grabs Snacks and can't hand it to Oscar, but he's done his job. And now Get Right. See, that one with the corner of the wall is tough.
yeah, probably a kill that he could have had. He does leave Robs on 30 health, and this is very tricky. 2 versus 3, hiding right around the edges. Dennis. Oh my
no.
God, what a save. Robin Cool right back at it, and now Oscar's out with the AWP. This could be a horrible round for NiP to lose. Oscar waiting for the time to stand up close range, and he does actually get the leg shot on Forrest, but somehow NiP get to live through the round, and I don't know. This is a crazy end to this game. It looked like NiP had already done it, but now they have to fight for absolutely everything. Double for Lecro, double for Rez.
Yeah, and they're going to have to drop some weapons so they're not out of the woods just yet. This is a great hold from Rez. Really slowing things down on that hit. Tough fight for Get Right to win, but he brings him down low, and I cannot believe Rop saved him from there. Oscar's going to be frustrated. That was a leg shot. NiP buying back into this round and dropping weapons over and getting everything they can out of cash. 4 players beneath $1,000, 3 of them beneath $200. So that's not ideal. Meanwhile, Mousesports still has a very strong buy here, plenty in the bank afterwards to make something dangerous in the next round. So NiP's going to have to fight and claw for every single one to close this out.
Oh, that Molotov actually, the timing is godlike. Lecro with a grenade in hand, but that's a headshot from Forrest. That M4A1 is just looking so good on him.
He's the one player that can make it work.
I mean,
everyone's abandoned it.
He is in a category of his own almost.
He is the last hero, last action hero.
That is a great movie, Moses.
It's pretty good.
I kind of want to rewatch that now, actually. 24th round, 14-9, NiP back on the red carpet, Moses. Forrest again going to be flashed, but unflashed just in time for that one kill. Could have been a double. They're going to take down Lecro. He was so soft from earlier. So a 3-on-3 with a slight health advantage here favoring NiP, but the retake off the B bomb side is almost always tricky. Good smoke there. Sunny going to pick up the bomb, and no plant yet. NiP being very aggressive, and Robs will take down Rez. Bit of a flank, and they could have maybe waited for this. I think they wanted to try and create a bit of a diversion, but Get Right wasn't really in position for it. And now Dennis is down, and they can probably guess there's someone coming here. Can't stop the bomb from going down. And this would be a very, very tricky 1 versus 3 to win. And I think Get Right's already realizing they don't have the money to throw away these kind of guns. So miscommunication, I would say, for NiP in that retake. They were very, very quick.
Just a little bit over-aggressive with that smoke, because there's plenty of time. You can see exactly what Mousesports does. As soon as that smoke comes up, you're right. It does kind of make you scratch your head and say, what's going on? This is not a normal smoke to see in this situation. And everyone kind of stays away from the bomb plant. Everyone keeps their eyes on it. You're not going to sneak out through there. Obviously, Rez thought he could find that duel out towards Van. Didn't pan out in his favor. Good win for Mousesports. That was so close to being a disaster, though. I cannot believe nobody cleared that ladder room. No one even looked into it as they crossed by. Forrest easily could have had a double. It was a very quick reaction from Oscar to punish him.
I think Forrest obviously assumed they were going to check it, because otherwise he could have actually just waited and they would have all walked past him, but
it's just so wild that no one looked. I think that's because you're exactly right. Otherwise he would have had his trigger discipline, right? But he sees that first one, he's expecting someone to glance left.
Yeah. Also because he was just flashed and checked a couple of rounds ago, so he probably just felt like that was going to happen. So now we're kind of back into it here. NiP, sure, they have a 4-round lead, but some of these rounds are going to be just pistol rounds or maybe force rounds if Mousesports keep winning. So it's closer than it seems once again.
I think this is going to have to be a double save scenario if they don't turn this one. Maybe one more right after. I just don't think they'll have the money to fight. Mousesports doing their best. It is Rops with 19. 3 players on 16 for Mousesports, and then it's 3 players on 17 and Forrest on 16 for NiP. Everyone is very, very close together. And now the scoreline is finally starting to match what the scoreboard would tell you.
Yeah, this game definitely has been...
It's 13-7 at one point, Anders.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, Mousesports is a very persistent team right now, and you could imagine the frustration must have been growing, all of those rounds being so close, and they weren't able to win them. But it paid off for them to hold on to it, and starting to see if they can make their way this way. Lekro is actually slightly famous for his deagle, and for good reason too. Going to be right at the angle, does miss the first opportunity. Now there's an AWP out there waiting for him. Get right rotated over the M4, but he couldn't make that spray connect, and Lekro running out of chances. Had 3 of them as well. So, save the M4.
Let's see if he's as good with the M4A4. That's not fair. No armor.
Yeah, he did get aim punched.
Dennis here. He's going to get taken down as well. Nice round for Mousesports. All 5 surviving, and they claw themselves just a little bit closer. And I think NiP again. This should be a save. I don't think we've seen timeouts from either one of these teams, have we? Tactical ones.
No, not as far as I can recall. They just want to keep going at it head to head here. NiP, as you said, it would have to be double save, so can't really buy in this round either. Maybe some pistols upgraded, but not much else. They kind of need to find a way to finish this, because I feel like Mousesports are really, really starting to wake up now. A lot on the line here for the first match in the Legend stage.
It's starting to feel like that. They're starting to get that like cornered animal feel, where it's like that's when it's at its most dangerous, and this is where they're just like out of desperation going deep into the playbook, doing some crazy plays. Chris J, this is the second time he's done this, and it's been in the past 2 or 3 rounds, and this time that nade and then P250 headshot combo is not a fun thing. Actually, Mousesports have thrown that exact smoke and gotten up catwalk a lot recently, and I think they feel like that's their bread and butter at the moment.
That's long range. Just Dennis somehow finding that kill. 3-on-3 though, and it should still be relatively safe in this round here for Mousesports. Some unfortunate deaths, but not enough to jeopardize the round, I feel.
Well, if Getright can do something with this AK-47, it remains to be seen if he wants to actually challenge, because we know their money is just so low. If he were to go for something, he could cause a distraction for Rez to flank, but yeah, it's kind of a low percentage round to try and fight for.
Yeah.
And you can see they're all just set up to deny economy, and unfortunately Rez and Dennis have nothing but USPs. It's not going to be ideal when these players start to exit. It's Getright who you'd want to have the action. It's not going to come. There's Rez peeking out, and Snacks has already seen him. He's going to go down. No chance of a kill. Oh my God. All right, why not?
You got baited, Moses,
I
didn't
did.
you?
I got wrecked so hard there. That's so sad.
Oh, Getright wants more damage. They're right around the corner. He's going to spray down one. The bomb will take him down, but that's still pretty expensive. You know, Moses, if I had to make a change to this map, I think you should be able to use the space, or I guess the use key on, I have it on space, but use on the cash register to make it do like one of those ding sounds, because then when you kill people there at the end of the round, you can just sort of cash out the round. I think that would be a vital update to the game.
Your use key is spacebar?
Yeah. What are you meant to use it for?
I don't know.
It's so that I don't mess up defusing the bomb, Moses. I can always...
It's the way you can't even handle that. You can't even handle holding a key down. 14-12. Sunny, Chris J, Snacks once again up catwalk. NiP this time they're ready for it. Oh, they're going to spot him over the smoke. Chris J brought low. Oh, and they find Snacks. There's Dennis as well. Eventually, NiP is going to adapt and find a way to counter you. And when you do that round, 2 to 3 rounds straight, this is the result. Mousesports not showing a whole lot of variety on the C side.
What?
Okay.
Did he die in his... What?
Did he jump down? Molotov? Nade?
He had so much to live for and just gave it all up. I'm going to need to see a replay.
One more for the blooper reel?
Yeah. That one, I mean, they have the round. There's surely no way that Oscar can find all of these kills.
I don't know. Oscar is one of the best like clutch oppers. Like you put him with a lot of space and a minute to work with in an AWP, like he can work some magic, and we've seen it on this very map. Problem is, there's a lot of utility. There's a lot of places NiP can be, and there's a lot of their players that can. And look where the bomb is as well. But this is good. Molotov out. That's the first step. Running out of time. Missed shot.
Yeah, the perfect idea, though. It's not a bad call at all. 15-12, though. NiP now at a match point.
He's got a little grin on his face. He knows he did something silly.
Okay, this is all good.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Now, what happens to Rez? That's the only thing that I really care about. He just...
Oh, what? Did he just, like... Did his brain just stop working?
A little bit.
I think maybe he... Yeah. I think it just turned off on him.
Can happen to the best of us, Moses.
Brain blue screened and walked into the fire.
Well, double AWP now for the Mousesports side. See how that plays out. Yeah, absolute last chance. Holding the smoke, but doesn't really want to stick around, and I don't really blame him for it either. If you had to AWP against Oscar or Chris, you might not. Actually, Chris has thrown away the AWP back in spawn, so they just bought it.
Might have just wanted to go for some kind of a timing peek to see if it would work. And this time it's a little bit more cautious in mid control. Sunny's close up. This is what made Mousesports so strong on this map in the first place, was how much success Sunny was able to have being aggressive in towards connector. He's waiting inside the smoke at the moment. I'm not sure what for as it fades. Where do they go from here? The crazy thing is NiP, with about a minute, is out of smokes. They've got no more real utility. 4 flashbangs, 2 Molotovs.
It's a very, very slow round here for the Mousesports team. They know one mistake and it's going to cost on the map 45 seconds. If they make their way up connector now, that position from Rez over at Shadow is very easily compromised. They could just be made irrelevant so quickly. Get Right would have to stay alive for at least a couple of seconds to buy some time for the rotation. Now 30 of them left, and see if they can make their way through. There's Rez going down, exactly what we just talked about, and Get Right trying to follow it up. He's done a lot of damage, and backup is being called for as well. This can work out. Snacks goes down. Get Right with one more headshot. It's falling apart here, and Sunny's low on health. And Get Right, he's ready for more. Triple kill on him, and he's going to be able to close it out as well. 16-12, a quad kill for Get Right. A beautiful way to end it. And that's going to be NiP winning their first match here at the Legend stage. And, I mean, they have had a great tournament run already. And looks like it's just going to continue. What a play.
Yeah, quad kill from Get Right. Awesome to see him to close it out. 22 frags for the man on Mirage in this opening win. That's a beautiful performance. And even though they just scraped for it at the end there, they lost a little bit of steam, and Mousesports fought back pretty well. But overall, I thought all good things out of NiP. So, yeah, everyone's right on their predictions. We gotta hang out. We gotta be friends.
Yeah, there has to be some unity, right?
Yeah.
We've got to keep the show friendly for everybody involved, at least for a little while. I think that was a closer game than it seemed. I mean, it got really close at the end, but there was a chance that it could have been the other way, right? It could have been NiP fighting their way back almost.
Yeah, because the scores were so close the whole way, and like the actual score of the rounds was a weird disparity. It didn't feel like that should have been the case, but yeah, eventually Mousesports brought it back to reality. 16-12, that's not bad. It's good to see that kind of a fight out of Mirage, out of Mousesports, but their Mirage woes continue.
Yeah, a little bit more, as you said. You haven't.
I lost a lot of confidence in the Mirage lately.
Maybe for good reason as well. I mean, that was also just a really. It seemed like a slow start for them a little bit. So maybe that could change later on. Now that they're officially sort of played their first game of the tournament, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Either way, we've got Freya down with the Ninjas. Take it away.
Yes, that is right, Jason. I am here with Dennis and Letcrow from the winning side, Ninjas in Pyjamas. Now, you guys are now guaranteed to be coming back to the next major. Dennis, how does that feel?
Feels good. I'm not satisfied yet because I want to win, but it feels good, yeah.
So you guys had a little bit of a break after the Challengers stage where you went 3-0, which was an amazing result. What were you doing with that time off?
We were playing some other games just to relax a bit, I think. We still had practices, of course, but we just took it easy, didn't overthink it for the next stage, just do our thing.
Because it's been a while since you guys have played Mouse online. I think it's been a few months. How did you prepare for that matchup?
To be honest, we didn't prepare too much. We know Snacks is new in the team, and I don't know if these rumors that they have problems in the team is true, but it was a bit like VP. We didn't prepare too much because we don't know what to expect, kind of.
So Mirage has been a great map for you, especially in the Challenger stage. You took a map of Astralis and Virtus Pro on it. What do you think works so well for you?
Honestly, we were struggling a bit before, but it seems like we just found ourselves on it, pretty much.
So your first half, that was pretty convincing. You got 9 rounds. What was the focus going into it?
I don't know. We felt really comfortable. It was a really bad start. I think we lost the pistol, so it's always a bad start. But I'm really happy with how we just kept our communication going, and everyone was on point and everything. So going to CT side it felt like we were in the zone.
So I just want to talk about your now in-game leading for a couple of months, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
yeah. So do you think this is what the team needed to kind of find their feet again and get back on that momentum train?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we needed something a bit of change at least, and it's a kind of big change. But I think it brought some motivation to everyone, and like brought up some roles that we didn't have before that people are more comfortable in, I think.
Dennis, we saw you tweet after that DreamHack Stockholm loss in the semi-finals. You were disappointed with your performance, just yourself. What has been your focus as a player?
Actually, just to refocus and don't think about it too much. I'm still not happy. I want to be the best, of course. So I always have high expectations of myself. So yeah.
So you guys are now 1-0. Going into tomorrow, has this given you more confidence?
Not really. We're just going to do our thing. We don't really think too much. Yeah, kind of.
Well, thank you so much, guys, and congratulations again on the win. We're going to head back over to the analyst desk.
Not filling me with confidence for the future. We don't like to think too much, they say, but it certainly works here on Mirage. Despite a lost pistol, NiP have a spectacular start on the first half and close it out into the second. Of course, we have Sean Gers and Threat to dissect this one. Gentlemen, what a game from the Ninjas. They're coming back to the next major.
Yeah, it's very impressive to see, and especially how they kind of combined their Puggy style with just smart calls from Lekro.
It was a real nice combination. Lekro fragging, as he seems to be doing time and time again, manages to pick up some spectacular rounds for NiP, 4 in that round, Sean. And all round, they're saying they're not thinking. We saw a little bit of structure coming out from the Ninjas.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was alluding to in the pregame segment, where they have really good hits on both the bomb sites, and they have strong mid control leading into both bomb sites. So they have a full variety of strats right now on Mirage. Their depth is definitely showing on the map. And I really liked actually what I saw from them throughout the entire map, other than that weird Glock eco that they lost late in the second half.
This one, it's right on your screens now. Snax gets 2 with a Glock, and the rest is history. Yes, but they managed to keep themselves cool, calm, and collected. Indeed, they collect themselves this round and the game.
I don't think they did a single regular default ST with the catwalk smoke and just pushing out middle to the boxes.
No, but something that they did do really successfully is they did that weird dry run out mid, and they ran that 3 different times.
How dry are we talking here?
We're talking real dry, Alex.
Okay, like Sahara dry.
Yes.
My goodness, not a single flash?
Maybe 1 flash.
Okay, so we're talking maybe more like a Sahara with an oasis in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Deep, you can maybe see
in the distance. Maybe it's a mirage. See what it is there.
But they did a really good job of controlling the times that they used this throughout the half, particularly when Oscar couldn't afford an AWP, or when he could afford one, their economy wasn't, strong enough to actually stop that try run out.
Yeah, and I mean, something that I think I want to focus on as well is that Mirage they were god tier. Yanko, when I was sharing the desk with him, would describe Mouse as the very best team in the world on that map. Of course, roster changes since then. And I'm looking at their Mirage results. Of course, add this one to the tally. They're actually, they're 5-7 on this map, losing to teams such as North. They've lost to the likes of, let me get it right, MIBR, Astralis. Admittedly, they're losing to good teams. NiP now added to that list. But what was kind of jumping off the screen to you, Threat? What was going wrong for Mouse?
I think it's Oscar. He used to be probably the best AWPer on Mirage out of all the teams. And also they had probably the best A anchor in ROPS as well at the same time. And I think Oscar is struggling a lot right now. He's going for weird mid peaks. I would like to see him go more aggressive on both A and B, maybe go aggressive Palace.
Right.
Maybe one round he go aggressive B. I don't think he's playing dynamic enough.
Do you consider that a trap that some people fall into and feeling like mid is their responsibility when they get the AWP in their hands?
I do think I see that out of a lot of teams. And also I think Chris hasn't really found the openings that he used to find on Catwalk. So both their AWP players are kind of struggling on the map. In this game, though, I think it killed them that they lost 2 1v2s at the B site and a 2v4 at the B bomb site. And you can't afford to lose rounds like that in a single half of Counter-Strike. So even though they won the pistol, you saw them have a terrible half because of that.
Yeah, it was rather brutal. In fact, when we bring up the head-to-head, it does look rather brutal for one member. It was Sunny who struggled as a team. Of course, individually, you'll see his ADR stacks up nicely versus Lekros, and we considered him consistent. He certainly continued that here in the head-to-head, brought to you by the Predator.
Yeah, I think Lekros started the game super well. He kind of cooled off towards like the later stages of the game, and Dennis shined at that point. But I mean, he had so many impactful kills, and that 1v2 that he ended up winning against Snacks when Snacks peeked out from the empty pillar at B site, really got things in motion for NiP, in my opinion.
Yeah, taking a look at the stats, Sunny was at the top of the scoreboard for his team. However, when you actually take a look and break it down, it was Lekro who really made them manage to have that impact while in-game leading. Let's not forget that he's doing both, spinning both of those plates. And I want to talk to you more, Sean, because you've got a demo. You've got a clip for us.
I do, and this was actually the last round of the first half. This is the one that dry take mid that I talked about.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so NiP showed a lot of poise on this round. And what ends up happening is they dry take mid at the start, like I said, maybe one flashbang comes over the wall, and they do this because they know Oscar can't op mid. They get these 2 opening kills, and Girai is actually the 4th player mid right now. They have one guy holding the upper B push, and you can see over time he falls back, and he ends up holding A from spawn. He spots the Palace push, and keep in mind it's a 3v5, so they know at least one player's A, probably 2 after that spot. They end up taking up catwalk, simple smoke, simple flashbang, and then they would just trade kills. It would honestly be impossible for Mouse to win that round at that given point. And I think that's great, actually. That's something that NiP lacked for a long time.
I mean, did they lack that for a long time, Bjorn?
Yeah, I can kind of agree. I mean, when I was the coach, I used to want to play more default heavy, use the nade to take middle. But this is an example of how we can play puggy, but yet really smart. Just go for that fast mid take. And I also like it's a good way to punish the scout in window as well. A lot of people think that the scout will always get away, but if you're as good as Lekro, you can just pick him off before it falls back.
Yeah, they've got the individuals as well. They've been spicy as hell. We do have your updated bracket for you as well, because another game in another day soon to be in the books. Just 2 more games. We've been really running through it. I guess Peps have been conditioned by the overtime madness that was the Challenger stage, but 2 more maps for you. It'll be Na'Vi versus Astralis next. Oh my goodness, Na'Vi Astralis meeting right here, right now. Day 1 of the top 16 here at the Legends stage. Now, before we do go ahead and talk all about that, we have to take a break so we can go ahead and get ourselves ready for it, and you guys can too. But a quick reminder, epics.gg. Don't forget to check it out. It's one of our sponsors here. You can trade and collect all of your favorite CSGO stars at epics.gg. You can grab it on your phone as well, iOS and Google Play. Coming up after the break, though, Na'Vi take on Astralis. Top 1 and 2 in the world will be clashing in a best of 1. You won't want to miss this.